Okay, I accept the fact that Kamala Harris supporters do not want to talk about what she's done. Okay, I accept that. All right, because I understand that what she's done is nothing to be bragging about. Okay, she has allowed 15 to 20 million people into this country illegally. This former prosecutor who's now campaigning on the fact that she's a prosecutor has not prosecuted the people that are coming across the border illegally. Okay? She's saying, oh, I know how to handle Trump because I'm a former prosecutor. All right? We're not interested in how you prosecute or go after your political opponents. Okay? You've seen that happen for the last 3 years. What affects the American people is how you prosecute people that break the federal law and come across the border into our country illegally. And for that, you have done nothing, okay? You have invited people to break the law and you have not prosecuted them at all, okay? So that's what you don't want to talk about. But for those of you who say, well, both parties, they let people into the country, they all do that. Let's look at some facts. I know it's hard sometimes for you to focus on facts. Kamala Harris supporters, that's not something that, you're supposed to do. You're supposed to just focus on the fact that she's a woman, and better yet, she's a woman of color. That's supposed to be the focus, okay? But I'm just going to ask you to just indulge me for 5 minutes on facts, okay? When Trump was president, there were 30,000 people coming into the country illegally a month. 30,000 a month. In 2017, 300,000 people came in illegally, okay, during the course of the year, okay? But on average, it's 30,000 a month. Since Kamala has been in Washington, since she's been vice president, 250 to 300,000 people come into the country illegally every month. Let that sink in. We've gone from 30,000 a month to 250 to 300,000 a month. Okay? And the effects of having those many people come into the country illegally has a direct impact on the black and brown community. And I'm going to let Dr. Umar Johnson explain that to you. So just bear with us. These are facts. I know it's tough, but, indulge me.
Now let's go to the migrant issue.
Yes, sir.
Which everybody wants to label. Whenever you talk about what the black activists in Chicago are going through, or whenever you talk about what black people here in New York are complaining about, they'll say, that's MAGA messaging. How is it MAGA messaging?
It's not MAGA messaging. Listen, the bottom line is when Joe Biden got elected, he said he wanted to fast track 4 million undocumented residents to full citizenship. Black people completely ignored it. I spoke on it. I said, do you know why he want to fast track 4 million? Because he know he's not going to do nothing for us. We ain't going to be motivated to vote for him November. So what he's going to do is have these migrants already set up with citizenship so they can replace the black vote that he loses. The migrants are being put in our communities on purpose, New York and Chicago on purpose, because they are what? The two blackest cities in America. They're the two largest cities in America. They're the two most politically conscious black communities in America. So if we can wash out the black with the brown in New York, if we can wash out the black with the brown in Chicago, Philly don't stand a chance. Atlanta don't stand a chance. LA, Houston, Dallas, Detroit, Chicago don't stand a chance. The migrants are here for 3 reasons. Replace us at the polls. Replace us at the low-end industry jobs, right? See, when Donald Trump said during the debate that Joe Biden is taking black jobs and giving them to migrants, he was correct. Although he didn't say it because he cared about us, but he's right. When people say, what do you mean by black jobs? Get out your bougie feelings and deal with the reality. 1/3 of black men have a felony. So there's a lot of jobs they will never qualify for. They are mostly what? Essential workers, warehouse, trucking, security. And a lot of those jobs are going to who? The migrants. So that's what he meant by black jobs. We got to stop being so sensitive and look at the reality of it.
Now, those of you who still say, hey, but you know what? I'm going to vote for her anyway because she's a black woman and I want to see a black woman in in the presidency, you know, it's time for that. There is a price to pay if you vote for someone because they're a woman or because of their race or because of, you know, other external reasons other than facts. If you're not focusing on facts and policy, then you are headed for disaster. And I'm going to let Anton Daniels tell you about that.
As you men, black, whatever color, I don't think y'all are going to allow it. I don't think y'all are. And I think y'all are going to band together with your votes and vote against her. That's what I think.
Would you vote for? Let me ask you a question. Would you vote for?
Yeah.
Why?
I'm going to just be real honest with this. She's a black woman.
Why only because of that?
Because I would love to see a woman in office.
Oh, why?
I want to give us a shot. I mean, how many presidents have we had that were all men? Like,
I'm so broken, bro. Honestly. Like on everything, on my father's grave. I am so broken right now, man.
why?
Do you not see how that's a bad idea?
Elaborate.
Okay, so we're in 3 proxy wars with some of the most powerful leaders in the world. She failed at the border, in which we have an estimation of 15 to 20 million people illegally into this country. That is literally overtaking and bankrupting Chicago to the tune of over $400 million per year, and they're in a deficit. Oakland is going out of business. San Francisco, ditto. California, $65 billion deficit. New York, they're literally cutting trash, in which they are the rattiest, dirtiest city, and they've taken up resources as far as free healthcare, free hotels to the tune of $600 a day. They're literally taking over your schools. Your taxpayer dollars are going to fund the migrant crisis. She was supposed to be in charge of this. We have a failing economy. Every single day I see people getting on the internet talking about $30 an hour is the new minimum wage because inflation is fucking out of control. At one point, it was at almost 10%, depending on what city that you in. She has no policy, no record to stand on. One of the biggest things that she did in her career was lock up more black men than ever before, but we sitting here and vote her in office on identity politics. The very person that she was under as far as the president of the United States of America, she called him racist during a debate, which shows you how fake she is. And the only thing that we can stand on from a policy perspective is whether or not she's black and she's a woman. We did that during the Obama administration, and he didn't do anything for black people. As a matter of fact, y'all complain because the only person that he did, or the only group of people that he really stood for is the alphabet community, and that's his landmark thing that he's still standing on today. So the only thing that we have to stand on is identity politics. That shit didn't work with Tiffany Henyard in Dayton, Illinois. It didn't work with Karen Bass. It didn't work with Lori Lightfoot in Chicago. It didn't work with Brandon Johnson that then took over her position in Chicago. It didn't work with Andre Dickens in Atlanta. It didn't work with Eric Adams in New York. It doesn't work across the country. Every single Democratic city is a hellhole. And we sitting here talking about identity politics?
So, if you are voting strictly because of identity politics, let's just keep it real. If it's about that, then you're not exercising your responsibility as an American citizen, as a voter. You're just a fan, okay? You're just a fan, just like at a football or baseball game. You're picking a side and you're going with that side regardless, okay? This is not the time to be a fan. This is a time to do your research, discover the policy, and vote based on policy, because there are definite ramifications to the way you vote that's going to affect you, that's going to affect your community, and it's going to affect your family directly. Okay? So do your homework and understand why you're voting for someone, and don't make it about identity politics, because it's too serious right now. All right? Like they say, stand on business. Let's stand on business. Don't be a fan. Be a constituent. Be an educated voter. Okay? And thanks for stopping by. And as always, until next time, peace and stay safe.